Liswaniso, who is the United Party for National Development, UPND, National Youth Chairperson. And today we will discuss many other things. Like I earlier mentioned, he is coming from a number of trips that he has made in the recent past, obviously fact-finding, on a fact-finding mission to obviously see whether issues such as food distribution is a reality, also CDF distribution and actualization, whether it's a reality, challenges that are being faced out of that. All those will be the issues that we will look into today. And so let me also acknowledge the fact that we are not the only ones broadcasting this particular program live on 89.9. We also have partner radio stations that are carrying this, and we have Tuta FM in Mansa, covering Wapula province, on 90.7 FM, live also on Muchinga Radio in Chinsali, covering Muchinga province, on 88.1. We are live also on iWave FM radio, that is in Chingola, covering the rest of the Copper Belt on 90.1 FM. Also live on Spice FM in Kabwe, covering Central Province. We are grateful. And Southern Province is not left out. We are live on Wave FM radio, that is on 98.7 in Mazabuka, covering the rest of Southern Province. Don't forget to also follow our conversation live on our Facebook page. It's 5FM Radio Zambia. We are also live on UPND Facebook page. That's the UPND Youth, as well as Gilbert Liswaniso's page. Gilbert, always a pleasure to have you. Welcome to the burning issue. It's been a while. I know you were on a fact-finding mission, and we will definitely be getting into details, but how have you been?
Well, Zachariah, good morning, and also good morning to the listeners. Thank you very much, Zachariah. We are there. We are okay. We are pushing slowly.
Right.
Yeah. As a party also, we are on the ground.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. On the ground you are, and I'm quite concerned because this government has started food distribution because of obviously anticipated the hunger situation that this country is likely to have as a result of the drought, which has been declared as an emergency. What is the hunger situation like on the ground, especially the fact that you are coming from the rural areas?
Thank you very much, Zach. The issue of hunger, we cannot remember that almost 7 provinces have been attacked with the drought, and also almost 6.6 million of our population have been affected. And through that, now government has to make some measures to ensure that its citizens also, they should have something on the table. You are aware that President Hakainde Hichilema is on record emphasizing to say that, yes, we have this hunger situation, this drought, but we need to ensure that our people find something at the end of the day. We are Zachariah. And the good part on the rural part, when we engage them, they're saying that I think it's not a problem of the government. The government tried by all means to give us imports, fertilizer, even us were on the field, but drought has hammered us, all of us. Government inside has lost, even us, we have lost the other side. But now, what is the way forward? Collectively, all of us, I think the engagement are going very well. When you have one-on-one to talk with the community, they raise their own issues. How do they want to tackle this matter of hunger situation? We still have this problem, Isaac, to next year maybe. But government is committed to ensure that its citizens, we find that even certain projects today that are being stopped, that money can divert it to the hunger situation that the people can afford. The Maize Reef has started in certain areas, even in Western Province, to give the people. There will be two types of food relief which will go to the people at the grassroots level there, so that they can have food at the end of the day. The other one, which is started now, which are disputing to, is to give people who cannot afford. And when you're having meetings, it's not everybody in the community who are not able to afford on the table. There are those who are able to afford food, but we are asking them also to say, why can't we feel pity for those who can't? So every village, every community, we can divide ourselves. So there are those Vajivama Kwanisa, Vajaswanga Kwanisa. When you go for a meeting, among themselves, they're able to separate themselves. Have you seen it? When you go for a meeting, themselves, they're able to separate themselves. Vajaswanga Kwanisa, Papasa, Niwoma Kwanisa, Veka. They separate themselves so that the food can go to the people, can go to intended people who are vulnerable in those areas, which is very good because they commit themselves. Now they're able to separate themselves. They know who can afford, who cannot afford, and how can government also help those who can afford in terms of maybe there's the issue of winter maize now. They want pumps through CDF, all the things they're mentioning them, how we can now change our mindset towards, because drought, it won't be only today. It may come again. So what measures are we putting in place collectively, the community and the government? The second one, government, what has done, first of all, almost 2 million. Those when social cash transfer. Bajabene Banyonsha, Bajatikamba katika pande Masingo, ladies, Nkaramba, Zlema, the money has been increased. They will continue getting the money which have been getting, but now it has been increased so that they can afford to go and buy a bag of meal. They can go and buy a bag of maize. This they will continue, but government, what it has done is to increase. Now, there are those also youth and women who are not part of that group which I've mentioned. Even them, they're hungry. Even them, they want to eat. So there will be food for work. Even here in Lusaka, it has happened before. So within the rural part, Tima Cleaner Misevo, sometimes Mpanga Kapena, Chamans, Chidam, you work for it and government will give you money, and that money you go and buy maize. So government, what will do now, instead of giving maize to our leaders, we got several leaders within our communities. We got church leaders, indunas, chiefs, party leaders. So when you give it those days, if you give them 200 bags, but because they are leaders, we now about 10. So you find that I need watch pan as a thing up. So find that the food which was meant for the majority, it becomes small. People won't get it, and there used to be a lot of confusion. But government has changed that thing now. It will go into your ward, Milisi Zankara yogulisiwa, because now you a youth, iwe Nkaramba, iwe Chilema, iwe Mpofu, iwe Meno Onyonsha, iwe Mzimaye osakwatiliwa, because government is giving you money, you go and buy. So no one will go and in a boss school. And these are the measures which government has made to its citizens. Even here in Lusaka, look up at CBD state. So young people be employed. You go to Kanyama, you go to Matero, go to Mandeo. So it's about we now, the young people. Uliamena ainanja, kulbe kumeka. Let's go. Tenti clean. Zalimba mazina yanu. Mambo sewenza pa kuchisa garbage collection, kapani chani, vose, sewenza pamoza. Kapena karoli skali bwino. Kapena mkomboni kulima flowers vambili. The community yourself, you're going to choose what you want to do within your community so that each rapportons, and then we employ those young people in a short period and they get paid. These are the measures which government is making place to the people at the grassroots level there. Yes, hunger is there. They're talking about it. We are communicating with them. And all of us, we know that this thing this year is a difficult year. And we'll continue asking the people of Zambia, the youth, the women, especially the women, the affected one, because ndiye batisunga azimai ndiye bagabanisa unga azimai ndiye bagabanisa kyokudya ndiye bamaze bati iki nkyaso. So there is a pain in the house of every woman, and that's why this government is committed to ensure that a woman should feed this nation, to ensure that chamene bapasa muzimai chifika kuli sinayese mayouth. So I'll tell you that it's a discussion, but my appeal to them that work together with Hakainde Hichilema and his government. Sikufuna kwatu, sikufuna kwanu. We did our part, all of us. I don't think today, if we had a bumper harvest, if people, the way people responded last year, I don't think today we can talk about the bag of meal. You can talk about the hunger situation, but it has come. I don't want to politicize this because I've been in the ground, I'm seeing what is happening. But the more we engage our people, we, party leaders in UPND, the government itself, the way people now, they'll follow and listen to us. Because President Hakainde Hichilema and his leadership, they are committed to ensure that no one should die with hunger. And I'm happy that the process has started. But again, it goes to our colleagues, those who have been trusted with the same maize, everyone. We should ensure that we give intended people. We should be on the ground. And also, I'm calling to the party leaders of the UPND, please be there. I'm still calling also church leaders, because in your churches, there are a lot of vulnerable people. By capturing many numbers of people are vulnerable, church leaders come on board, help us. Let's identify those who are vulnerable within our churches. Let's work together. Those in the rural part who are listening to me, chiefs, headmen, let's work together, because it's your people, it's our people. All of us, we go to same people, looking to that they vote for us. So government already has shown commitment to ensure that vantu vatu mazambians vene vaziko vasavutike vasafe na njala, patipempa vene vapasiwa mphamvu kuti ndimwe muyendesa vintu ivi visalete pokoso, muntu asadire vantu vali pa ground. For us as the youths of the UPND across the country, we'll be on the ground monitoring. I've realized one thing which is happening at the grassroots level. On top, President Hakainde Hichilema and his cabinet, the ministers, I can tell you, Zach, very committed to ensure that things are done in a good way. But I've got an issue at this level where implementation is happening. The social welfare, they've been going around getting names of the people. But in certain areas, they'll just scope a school for one day. Wazapeza bantu kapena bali 50. Wamene bali 50 walemba waenda. Now you ask yourself, you are in a rush for what? Are you committed? And these are the things I need to address now. The minister, that means to say, these people need to do their job. Engage people at a community level. Even all party leaders, if it is possible, engage all of them political parties. Because people should not die. Let's have a meeting at a section, everybody comes here, and then you write names, take your time, so that your people should not die with hunger. But what I've noticed that, Zach, even in Kalembedwe, it's questionable. So we need now, especially we the party leaders of the UPND, because anything which goes wrong, the finger points on UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema. The party will be in trouble. The party is in trouble because UPND akangiwa, UPND, and then yet there's only a few individuals within the system who would want to jeopardize the work of the government, the work of the president there. And I've said, on top there, from discussion, from engaging even the minister of finance, I'm able to see that things are done. When you engage also the minister or ministry, you can see that they are trying their best to ensure that things are done in the right way. But we have a responsibility now. Monitoring and evaluation should be done with us, the citizen ourselves. And I keep just from there. Yeah. That's why I'm calling also from church leaders. Get involved. That our people at that level, they should have something. We need church leaders to come in because it's easier for us to communicate. It's easier to distribute at the end of the day. Also, indunas, headmen, chiefs, we need to work together for this because it goes direct to our people whom we represent.
This complaint is not new about the fact that there are bad eggs in the system that are frustrating the implementation of development in this country. The president has echoed this several times. Even yesterday, he mentioned it. And now people are asking what he's doing about it, because he can't keep complaining that whatever he says, there's certain people who are not implementing these things. I mean, at the end of the day, people are saying, you're the boss. Act, sure. And when it comes to that, I'll give you an example of, we are aware that school grants that are meant for the running of the schools have so far ended up in headmasters' pockets. Again, if these things have been discovered, there's no action that is being taken. First of all, because you were in the rural setup, can you confirm that school grants are
Let-
not
let- let-
are not doing the job it's intended to
it's
do?
not even in rural part, and that's what I'm saying. We, the youth of UPND, I'm seeing people may start hating us, those individuals in the system, a civil servant. And I'm not joking this time, because I'm the eye of the party and the president at the end of the day. We, the wing, collectively, is to give what is right, not with malice, no, but a right information to the leadership, and we implement it collectively, all of us, including the one who tried to disadvantage the community. I'm not joking this time, and I've said, Zach, even here, it doesn't matter how close you are, even president. If you do the wrong things, it's head on with you. It doesn't matter Liswaniso close to who, but if I'm doing a wrong thing, I shouldn't be tolerated, because you are killing the citizen. You are killing also the party, which has a vision, which has the good policy, and we need to help you like HM. Yes, Daniel Road. As I've said, at top they have committed, they're committed, all of them. I'm able to see. But we have to find now where there is a challenge. But that system, the one who can stop it, number one, it is us, first of all, a political party UPND, which goes on the ground, giving information, what government has done, and the community also gives us back what they're going through and who is a problem. So when we identify that you are a problem, then we fish you out as an individual. I'm not saying everybody, but the school grant for sure. This government, for the first time, wanakuwapa some 300 kwacha, kapama 400 kwacha. When PF was in government, this time it is 19, every term it's 19. About small schools, secondary school 45. The PTA can sometimes, it's a rural part. And a teacher is a very respected person when you go to a rural part. He's a communicator. Not even rural part, even here. Zach, you and me who got children, we listen too much a teacher. A teacher akamati, marafuna kwa mawani kwa chaku school, tima chosa. Because mwana aza kuvutapo che mahala. We give them respect. But we're not going to tolerate what I've seen and what we are seeing. It's not only in Europe, but even here in Lusaka, even in Copper Belt.
So tell me what really is going on with this grant.
So this grant is, there's a percentage how you can use it. You can't be only buying chalk. You go for a PTA meeting. When a school, kapena ma window sali bwino, you can't do everything, but at least unguzana, but ma window hapa, kandrama kabwera katika sensory baso. But you find that the committee is blank. They don't know anything. There can be a PTA committee. They don't know anything about money. A teacher will just call them to say, bwana kupange meeting pano. Tizoganza tipente pano. Nizingati kupenda so okay, tienti au tipente hapa, tienti sakileni rama. But the PTA won't know. But when you're asking questions through meetings now, we're able to tell them, what about this man? The people are blank. So a headmaster, Debs and PR, it's your job now to tell that ndrama zijasiza anu ni ndrama z'abantu. You have a responsibility now to engage your teachers everywhere. Yes, others are doing fine. You go to a school, the PTA, they know, but we have seen that the majority are not doing that. And the school is suffering at the end of the day. Kalata kanachoka kamozi kalata. Kachoka yavili. You need to wait for a CDF. You get the point. And wafunza amalata hapa ni atatu anachoka hapa. Where is Munga Fakepo? No drama. And they start counting, what about this man? And the committee was, akuma drama zaso. But that can drama, you can use mata ngati. Yavili hapa magula hapa mafaka hapa. Do you want to wait for a grant from CDF? And he said, no, we'll see. I said, no, don't do that. So we have engaged some of them. But now, we are communicating also to a minister who is in charge of it. He may not know everything. And we now, and we are directing our leaders. We told them, our leaders. We told the WDC. We told the councillor. We told even teachers within the same school that when this money comes, sit down with the community, all of you, and see how you can use that money. The challenges we are facing at school, small things, use that money collectively. You should not use your money. Secondly, what I found also, that the majority of teachers in Europa, they don't find themselves at school. They found at a Boma. So we're working around these issues.
At the
So-
Boma doing what?
Because it's a rural part, they're just seated. Okay, well, now when they hear there's somebody who wants to go now, they hear somebody go, that's what start running. And it's a job of a dev now with the headmaster. But we have said very clear that an headmaster, if he's the one who's tolerating that, you fish out the same headmaster. Because he's in charge of that school. Ngama kuboshani kandama nzaye, and they should be allowed. You wanted to teach, yenda unkale kumunzi. Those who are employed now, don't go. I want a transfer. No, nkala kwa minoko. After 4 years, yes, they can look into it. What you want is a job. You want to do that course that everywhere where the government will send you to go, and you go and work. No, uniende kurusaka. No. So if you don't want, then it's better, Mchokeko. We are making this clear to my fellow young people are teachers today. You can't give us headache. There are many young people who haven't got this job. You know how we have been insulted. Someone. So let's deal with this. First of all, those who have failed, who want job now, but you have been given a job. Do your job. Find yourself at the school. Teach children there. Zach, these things are happening in the rural area. But I'm happy also that within the rural part, people are concerned. They are raising this issue when you have meetings where they see government is failing, we are not pushing in. That's why we keep on saying they think that the community, you have a big people. This meeting is a political meeting have come. There is developmental meetings. Do you come in numbers like this? I'm challenging the citizen. Because the more you attend these meetings, the more you're going to improve your areas. So it's not everywhere, but most of the people now are going back into meetings. When you hear there is a DC, a PS, or any organization, go there and listen in that meeting and contribute something out of there. What are the challenges we have found within your community? So that those who have come, they're able to pick up something which may help your ward, your constituents, or your district. That's how we work. Because we are just leaders. We don't have monopoly of vision or wisdom. No. We depend on the citizens themselves. That's why President Kainde Chilema, what he did, 30.6 million, let it go to the people. People decide. We as a government is just to bring them closer to the people, and the people should choose what kind of the projects and they need within their community. We don't need to point where we have done, but the same people should point with their money in terms of grants, loans from CDF, youth empowerment, which is working very well in the rural part by people, plumbing, bricklayers, carpentry, welders. I think at the rural part now, I can tell you that a lot of meetings which I've attended, you find that when you go to certain villages, you find that almost 20, 30, they've done that course. You go to this polling station, every polling station, you find there's 10, 15, 20 people who have gone to school to do these things within 2 years. So you find that these activities now that are being done. The only thing that is when somebody has given a contract in that area, in terms of any infrastructure, the same young people should get involved so they can part and parcel, so they can lessen of vandalism and they should feel part and parcel, which is done very well at Europa now. I want you to understand this, Zach, also, before I touch too much about the issue, even the issue of CDF, is that UPND is a rural political party. And I want people to understand this very well. It will help you at the end of the day. Because the leaders who are running UPND, most of them comes from the village. They know really what they went through when they were young, the distances which they used to walk. So President Kainde Chilema and his team, they want to empower the rural part to lessen pressure for us who are found in the urban area. And that's the vision of the president, which is the best way of doing things. Because the rural part are the one feeding us in the urban area in terms of food, which we're eating, all of us. But there are certain things which need them direct to them in terms of education, terms of hospital, in terms of bridges, in terms of accessing nice roads so they can sell their merchandise at the nearest place, all these things. So UPND now is tackling to do that at the rural part. Are we doing fine as a party? I'll tell you we are doing fine because they are able to bring out. There's now the issue of where people are fighting for CDF.
How are they fighting for CDF?
I can tell that certain villages they want, each village they want a school. You know, a setup of a village where there is 10, 15 villages, you need to put a school at a center so that all the areas are covered. Within 2 years, I can tell you what we need to do. And this also goes to the party, which we are coming to the party, that we need to manage this now as a political party. Because even areas member of parliament, if I'm not mistaken, they will tell that they are finding difficulties. Because kumunzi, pomangira ni wa headman, pomangira ni chief ankaramu, tizamangira party school. The commission should come together. Uzapati uyu munzi uyu. Uzakamba ati AI, if it's not 1 billion muno. Akaili apa ndetri pafupi muzamangira pano. Na wina ngoti AI, letani percent. Drama is there, everything there, but people are failing just to find a place where they can build a school, a clinic. Drama, the contractor is ready to be on the side, but people are fighting. And when you discuss with them, they will tell you that even us, we can't go that way, it's very far. We can't walk 30 minutes. We want here. But tell them that that's when we have started, it's only 2 years. But it's reminding us that this development was not there. There's a positive when people now are coming for development, meaning these things were not there. We used to get 1.6 million. But this 1.6 million, a member of parliament could be nothing. A council has never done anything. I want you, Zach, one day, you get these old members of parliament and councillors to come to radio station, explain to us what they did in the 5 term, 10 term, from 2001, maybe up to date, to 2020. Let's do that. We've had also MMD and how we worked, all of us. Or if we want, get the members of parliament from 2011 to 2021 and councillors and ask them how the 1.5 million, it was working in their area. So CDF collective has gone to the people and the people are making decisions. Most of the villages, as I speak to you, first of all, they're demanding too much of water, clean water. Kulimaboho wamanga, wachitira, through CDF. We talk about loan empowerment, but kumunzi, my grant na loan empowerment at CDF, women are getting. They'll tell you it's a cool, not natenga. They are able to point, even that Nasara, Tembeke, Narembesa, the next year. And what we have done, and which I want to encourage, who want to leave the council secretary, who is in charge of the money. And this one has to be monitored. In certain areas, these people have caused us also in terms of development of CDF. And I'm just communicating to the people here to listen and to know that what is on the ground, people who want development, they're appreciating. Many clinics, I can tell you, I was in Liua with Honorable Stumbo Msokotwani, where he has done a mean clinic there, which has almost 22 beds through CDF. But you could hear the other side, they want the same. The secondary school, which were left by MMD, they were 10 years of PF. No one up all of them within 2 years. Leaders are committed. Not only there, we went even to the Murunga Arena, it's the same. You go to Mungu, the rural part, it's the same. So CDF may not be here in Osaka because we are busy as individuals, all of us. We are not committed to see how our leaders are just good or just calling and condemning. But I'm saying, are we participating as a community at the grassroots level? Are we available to check our leaders, our councillors, our members of parliament, that are they delivering these things to us? What the things do we need?
The cost of living is an issue. I mean, people will tell you they don't have time to do what you're asking them to do because they have to hustle out there. The cost of living is high. And let's discuss the cost of living living, especially in the urban areas. Here in Lusaka, lately here on this program, I've been receiving a lot of phone calls complaining about how the cost of living is hitting hard on individuals. And now you are saying that the former president is now taking advantage of the cost of living and he's going around. I mean, it's not like he's taking advantage of the cost of, but the cost of living is a reality. How do you respond to that cry?
First of all,
Yeah.
President Hakainde has he denied that? On the platform we have heard him.
He has acknowledged.
Yes. Which is a fair complaint.
Right.
But is government committed from the hunger, what I've explained from the beginning, those are the measures which government is putting in place. So the citizen, they're able to put food on the table. Secondly, is this government committed to ensure that the cost of living goes down? Yes. It's committed. 2 days ago, they commissioned that road. It's part of it. A month ago, President Hakainde was in Copperbelt to do with Mupani. You saw it, what he's doing. It's to do what? It's to open up. The issue here that all of us, we need to till the land. Production, the economy can only be done when the production is being done. Done by who? With the citizen. Ourselves. I've never come to this radio station to say, no. Even if, okay, let me say, even if I'm doing fine, but if I've got every day 5 people, 7 people, 10 people, 20 people asking me 100 kwacha, meaning life is very difficult. So I communicate to my leader to say things are not okay. Had a chat with the Minister of Finance. I think you're going to see it. To ask all these questions which are asked me. Is there any hope? Hope is there. As I speak to you, the readiness today is launching there. We're supposed to be there. But because of this, I haven't gone there. All these things is to ensure that our people should have food on the table. So I agree. The complaint is there all over. But are we doing it? We are doing it. Those who want to take advantage of it, let it be. But you, Zach, before you even formed government, in this radio station, we said, how these people damage this country, when we come, it will look as if it is us who have damaged it. We said it when in opposition. But when you are fixing something, it becomes normal in a way. Those consequences which are passing through. And we have no choice because it's us when the driving seat is to answer, is to get all these insults, is to get all these frustrations. That's why we are here. But we are asking our people, just from there, but also as to ask our people that give us time. We are dealing with these matters squarely. We are with you. President Hakainde is with you. He has acknowledged that. For the president even to declare disaster in the country, he understands that my people are suffering. But despite that, there are other things which we have done. But we don't want to discuss about, because the topic now is about only there's njara muzika.
It is.
Vodua vogula vadola.
It is.
So tentative vodula vija pangono.
And this is being said to be the reason why Zambians may call for early elections. But because someone says that, as a youth leader, you are a big politician in the line of politics. As a youth leader, you and your youths decide, well, maybe not you, but because they fall under, youths decide to report to the former president, to the police, because he has said Zambian people may call for early elections. It's history. We know this. And Hakainde Hichilema has issued some statements before when he was in opposition. And I think the fact that you understand this better than your youths, it was also expected that you would advise your youths that he has a right to say Zambians may think like this. Why? It's evident because the cost of living is there and everyone is feeling it. And maybe Zambians truly, based on the high cost of living, may choose to call for early elections. But that doesn't sound good because you are in power now.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Zambian people voted out PF.
Right.
Because of what? The high cost of living. Okay? Violence. Okay? Corruption. You get the point, eh? but we'll have to wait for 2021 to come. There's no shortcut to State House. Here I'm appealing to the citizens of this country to say, let's work together. Give us chance. We have given the mandate of 5 years, despite all these challenges. But we have done the other side of the good things. And I've highlighted that in terms of CDF infrastructure in a rural part, they won't listen to that, the story we're talking about. Because they're seeing it, it's closer to them now. Because kulimwe, azaki 9, clinic is nothing. Because I can access a private clinic consequence. But a village there, who used to travel to walk distances of 20 kilometers to access just Panado. And then Amboenda Jabe 30 minutes. Amboenda Chegapena 10 minutes. It's only 10 kilometers away from his home. Is he going to listen to us? You tell you no. Because that woman, that man got a freight rider and an input. Atengambeo. Anashanga. So he won't listen to that. Isinkani ya Kainde or ya UPND. First in Yamulongo. Because ni vive funika wanati pasila. Tinalima. Bakulangiza na munda. On top of that, waona pa school. Mumuzu mliboho ya manzi. Okay? Babura kuka refood yafika. I'm just giving these things. But for me, we're staying in urban, because still my bosses were to Niwaja. We depend on them, the rural part. Let's be very clear, all of us here. We depend on the people in the rural part. A farmer, banampa sandrama za bwino. Pugishimanga chake. Anagusa bwino kwenda kulima futi. And he's seeing that there's hope when I go into farming again. As I'm very story. But yes, because nindare. Ninikamba ndare hapa. Because yes, waedi garungu kachite ndare zao. Naka group kao kajaka Christian Folungu. You may use the church. Me, I will just appeal to the party members, the UPND, is to be on the ground. President Kainda scored a lot of things which we are able to communicate to the people squarely and comparing to Edgar Chagwarongo himself. For him, he has told us many times, not today. At least me, as you have said, I've been in this game. This year is my 20 years in this game. 20 years in this game, in and out, community. I understand these things very well. I understand these politicians. I mingle with all from UNIP and MMD. We tap vision and also certain information from them. At least I've got a bit of data of Edgar Chagwarongo, of creating anarchy, provoking, and I'm happy he came out. What was meant on the security, he came out in that church. With some of my leaders, I told them that this person, he will be provoking you to Mumange. He will be provoking you that Ankaina sympathy. So don't think what you did in your time, that was your strategy of stopping a candidate not to go to State House. But you want to do it deliberately, because you don't believe that the person whom you hammered left and right, the person whom you killed his own supporters, the person whom most of his members, even sympathizers, even relatives, were chased in government. The young people you are seeing, Zachs, today, those who are reporting, it's memories what they went through. And the Hakainde Chilema says, you, Liswaniso and your youth, no revenge, I don't want this. Our focus about development, which I'm happy, even me. And I've seen President Hakainde, his focus is to deal with the matters which you're talking about, not to deal with the matters of this man. And when you look about that team, it's the same team which gathered it together when we were in opposition. Do you expect anything from them? The answer is no. But we won't also sit down that they want to mislead the masses to look at if they are the messiahs. When Edgar Chagwarongo was getting money to a poor orphan in a market direct with beatings, anaye kutenga ndalama kuli muzimayi widow direct ndrama zake by force anali kumenya abantu mu station here intercity kuchoka check Western Province here icho Copper Belt Mabanga, how people were being beaten there. All these things we leaders in UPND, we are trying our best, should not be done. When we hear this, all of us will rush and stop it. But him, how many people did he torture? And I always give my examples, me personally, as a Liswaniso.
So are you choosing to ignore what he's doing, or you are interested? Because also there is an issue of saying, why can't you ignore him? Because now you are making him more popular by obviously sending the police, like the incidents in Kabwe. I mean, people reacted and said, is this still a factor? We rejected him, but why are you, government,
let me tell you,
making him a factor?
For me, not even UPND will look to him as a factor. I would agree with every citizen who's saying that. I'm agreeing with them. Okay. And I will use this platform to emphasize to it that police should not make Edgar as a relevant person. Don't do that.
You think
and I've said even
they are deciding on their own? The police are deciding to do that on their own?
And order, but when he was doing politics, he has told you, me, I get information that I'll be provoking these people deliberately. Okay? Anatuuza. The same system he said, umaiche kumubala no kumuma palasti. That was his word when he was the head of state. You saw how people were being beaten. You saw how people were being beaten every day, at every section. You saw people could not even criticize Edgar Chagwarungu. Today, everybody is criticizing it's a part of UPND. We are being criticized left and right by the citizen within a market, a bus station, at a wedding, at a funeral, every gathering, wherever you go, in everywhere. Zach, you know how this government is being criticized by the citizen themselves. Do we beat them? The answer is no. Ours is to listen and communicate to the president. And the president responds now with his team to say, this is what people are complaining, let's do with it. If it's long term, let's communicate. But under Edgar Chagwarungu, how many people were being beaten? Now, yes, I agree. Alibenchitoja. And I've said, I'm happy President Hakainde Hichilema, his focus now has been only on it. He has tried to provoke him. But even as party leaders in the party now, we need to help the president now. Ours is to check what is happening on the ground. It's to be with people. It's to talk to the people. Such chasing one individual. Let's deal with the people. Yes, he wants to incite the people of Zambia. But when we are inciting, it's not me coming in. The rule of law coming in. It's not us. There are certain things, Zach, you know, when you're in opposition. You told us, okay, mkama wanakuberani my election. Even people used to say that. And then per ground. We listened to you people. We went back to the ground. We went to the ground mobilized. If you know that the government of UPND is failing, go on the ground, talk to the people. You got numbers, we're saying good numbers. Go and talk to the people. But if you want to incite, I'm not personalized to the other side.
And look, what people are also saying on this issue is that you and I still remember vividly about, Hakainde Hichilema then in opposition at Chipata Airport, right? What happened? He was not given access, and he was there and negotiating with the police. The conclusion was the government has sent the police to do that. The same in Kabwe, the same people said it's the government that has sent the police to do that, and now the language is politicians are the same. He condemned what the PF used to do, but he's doing the same thing.
And I'll tell you that President Hakainde Hichilema has no time to send police officers to any party in opposition. And we have heard here, personally here I'm saying here, as a national chairman, and I'm telling the police, stop giving relevance to who? To Edgar Chagwa. And I'm saying, yesterday he wrote a statement there that, Akainde is planning to send people at night.
Yes.
That is cowardness. That is cowardness. No afuna nsebanye. Iwona musebanya muzako. Me personally speaking here, this message goes to him. I was tortured in that house with the same police officers at night. You, Edgar Chagwa yourself, what you did. So there are certain things which Akainde went through when he was on opposition, which has tried by all means not anybody to go through that. And he has maintained and need to be like that. We have said, you have heard people, even you, Edgar Chagwa. He's a citizen of this country. He has moved, he has been moving around. If there's somebody who's moving around, it's Edgar Chagwa. Let's not cheat one another here. He was in town the other day. Did you see him being harassed? You think it will be my youth? Maybe, exactly, let me say this. Maybe I test all of you for 1 week. Then we come back and start discussing here. Do you know why I'm saying no to it? I will disturb His Excellency President Akainde Chilem. The vision which he has, the vision he has. That's why I'm managing these youths. It's not easy. Don't be cheated. I'm managing people got wounds. People have been hacked before because of Edgar Chagwa. If I leave them loose, we cannot like it, all of us. The police can dance spirit, all of them. I'm telling you. And will disturb President Akainde Chilem. I'm just being honest with you guys to understand this. I know the pain which the young people are going through, those who fought with Akainde Chilem. I know. I'm dealing with the hungry youth and the angry youth. I understand. Even the same youth are talking about, they will ransack all this town. They'll take advantage of that. So when we are trying by all means to say, let's stop this, let's do our politics. But if you want to incite, even the same youth from UPND will join the bandwagon. And things will be bad for this country. And this is what Edgar Lungu wants. So when it comes in that way, the system or the police who isolate one individual as a cause will just fish you out as an individual. You start crying. And you think maybe people will sympathize with you. It will be too late. It will be too late. So Zach, for me, as your national youth chairman, who have seen, at least I've seen 2 governments coming in and going. And I've been with these 2 governments. The third one, it is us. I've seen MMD from 2001 to 2011. 2011, 2021. Now I'm with the UPND. I'm able to lead the situation, everything. And I know today we have a better leader. We have got a leader who got a heart. I can't then watch Fundo. If you go, you ask people, welcome, Kulango General Services. Now my SDR, Mutima, Amuderera Maningi. No. When you are a prayerful man, konda mulungu wako, wepa mulungu wako, there are certain things that you cannot even do. You refrain yourself. You tell me the way I went through myself. I'm seeing even certain officers who did that badly to me, today are being promoted by Bamsamba. But those people done badly to me, and you promote such a person. You think I can do an revenge? I can do that. But we say, let it pass, let's go. Look, how did Mwinde being arrested? What about Kangombe? What about Pablo? What about Musama? What about Konkli? Gaddafi? I can mention about a lot of young people capable to sack every constituency in this country, 156 constituencies, a lot of members of UPND. They are in the Pamitengo. They were being beaten. Help the police. Most of these, only few, most of them were being helped by the police. But as we have distanced ourselves, we don't want. I don't want police to be in forefront to campaign for UPND. I don't want. Even those, when I looked about the Kawe issue, I've told people, even senior leaders, isolate those police officers, all of them.
Were they wrong?
For me, that is, how do you go to church? Aenda ku church, man. Leave them. If you want to church, aende. No one has stopped UPND to go to these leaders in church. No one has stopped us. If the strategy of Edgar is to use the churches against us, we'll go back to the church and ask them, and we'll count things. Them. If you're a real leader in a church who understand what your people went through under Edgar Chagolungu, unless Christian Folungu, that group, the one who misled him. You can't tell me about that group, all of them. We are here because of grace of God. And me, I'll be the person who will tell Prenda kainde chima na mtima. Senza mtima oipa bambira paswali mustraight mu. You are trying by probat muzwe kuti even kanyere futu kafyanta makaza kuluma mai. And that's what he wants. Agatifera mujere chabuja Edgar Chagolungu. I'm just telling you the fact. So kosa mdara, me I tell you. So kosa. In that many I am, you cannot fight with a man who fought for government for 15 years. He's been fighting to be state house. I'm just telling these guys, organize yourself nicely, do your politics nicely. But if you want one-on-one with Akainde Chilema, some of you cry foul. But that's not how you're supposed to stay in a society. All of us, we are Zambians. Yes, we are the former head of state, but behave in a manner that you're a former head of state. But he has declared himself as a politician. So who will deal with him as a politician? Exactly, I just want to say, when you become political, we'll be political with you. We move in that way, and then we meet at the end of the day. From what Akainda has done, I'm emphasizing the party leaders, and I'm sorry on this one. I would demand even senior leaders in the party, maybe with the president, the party will be the face in whatever we are doing. Because we have seen the commitment which President Akainda has done on top there and his team. But here, that's why Edgar Chagolungu gets that. Because we saw when he declared in certain of WhatsApp were there, where they're civil servants. And these are the people sometimes they are found closely with our leaders. They are celebrating the other side. In this time we sideline you. I'm sorry. Let's fail as a party UPND and that kind of, but we won't agree or allow an individual within the system decampaigning us, doing things wrong, and then we are watching. No matter how close you are, and this is my message, because I feel the pain when you're talking to the people on the ground. I can feel it. I know what the people want. Akainda has done his part. He has given the tools to use at the grassroots level. The money is theirs. But I have seen where the problem is. And there, you will differ with me. You're an officer, you're doing the wrong things, you will differ. I don't care. The issue is we want the masses to enjoy the presidents of Akainda Chilema. We want the masses who voted for us to feel it, to say, yes. Zach, you need to know that when an officer goes wrong, the finger points on Akainda Chilema and UPND. When a nurse does the wrong thing, a finger points on UPND and Akainda Chilema. When a teacher does the wrong things, a finger points on Akainda and UPND. Anything goes wrong, either to cancel everywhere you do, who are listening to me, a finger goes to Akainda and UPND. And we, youths of UPND, we fought for this part where we are. So if you have been appointed, you have been given any position under UPND and you didn't have this position when UPND was not in power, start thinking in your mind that Liswaniso is on you. It doesn't matter. The issue is about delivering. The people should get what they want at the grassroots level. And here now, it's about helping the president. We can't leave everything to the president alone. He will never know what is happening in Marapodi. He will never know what is happening in Baulen. That's why we are the eyes of the president. And when we speak, not with malice, and I want to emphasize on this one, I have no time for malice. Or number 9, have no time to say, because number 9, no, your time is also a little bit. Me, I'll look about your performance. Or soon there are 9, but if your performance, it is good for the citizen, I have no problem with you and will support you the way it's supposed to be. What I've seen, I'm concluding, I'm saying that police officers now, few individuals have been doing that. Okay? So it is our duty now And we should wake up as UPND. I don't want to go in details. We should wake up.
Let me take phone calls.
We do what is best and ensure that but I'm telling the opposition that don't get an advocate, because they'll fish you out. Uzakaola at the end of the day. Because we have been pushing a kind on the corner. One day azaka gona, azaka ibala, ni muntu monga yemwe. Simulungwa ni muntu. He's an individual, despite being the president. But the more you want to bring certain things which can bring confusion in a country, and I've told you here, if you bring confusion here, it will be bad. Zach, I'm telling you. Me, the followers I have, it is bad than the followers of Edgar Chagwalungu. Most of them today, few of them have gone to another political party called this. And we know them by names, by list, all of them we know them. So if we want to go on that, we can do it, if that's what he wants. But I'm just appealing to him as a former head of state. Makambani mwenjoka, fine. But njoka nkuchaila kumuntu. Ujuwa kwa meswati stebwanji. That language you are using, which you are using when you were the head of state. That's that was language when he was the head of state. Because me, I can remind everything which he said when he was head of state. And such kind of a behavior shouldn't be allowed. The rule of law has come to work, and you should understand that, Zach, the rule of law was part of the promise we made the people of Zambia. So it won't choose who you are. Ndiwe Liswaniso, ndiwe ndani. So if the police enforce the law to you, what you have done, don't cry, because it is written among the promises we made to the people of Zambia. And I'm emphasizing on this one. Kulibe ndiwe church leader, kulibe ndiwe chief, ndiwe ndani, the issue there should be order in a country so that we can have a lot of investment in our country. People should have morals of doing things which are right. If you're going to allow lawlessness, which you yourself are the head of state, when you're head of state, you want to allow lawlessness, not under UPND. You can go and find that lawlessness to another country, not under UPND. No, you wait when you come. You can continue doing that. Under UPND, rule of law will maintain. Don't cry foul. And I've delivered this message to you, don't say you are not warned. Because me, I'm just telling you the truth. It is one of the promises we made the people of Zambia. Zach, you know, when we come on this radio station, it's one thing we keep on talking, and we are implementing it. So you break just the law follows you. It ends there. We can do politics. I have no problem. We can politicking, we can do this and this, but there should be a limit, because there are certain things we need to avoid which can bring confusion in the country. Hakainde was when I'm better my election 2015, 2016, 2017. Did you see us going rioting? It's like, get from that one. It's the way he has delivered his message to us, his supporters. We waited. During the general election itself, almost we're stealing an election. Did you see us going in the street? Burning tires to force the ACZ so they can announce the result? The answer is no. Go in the record. As a national youth chairman, I'm the only one who stood up on behalf of Zambia to say, no, let's wait for the result. You know that, Zach. And I appeal to the relevant authority. If you go in this way, there will be maybe bloodshed. Don't do that. Just release your result. If we have lost as a party UPN, we have, and I maintain that. For the first time in the history of this country, 2011 PF1 election, when's what PF? You know, it was all destroying people's shops all over. That's when they declared their win. But under UPN, I've never done that. But somebody want to force Akainde Chelema to do a wrong thing by his route which he's doing. So we are going to isolate you. I'm just here. It's about do your politics. You can go to the church, say this, but if you want to do inciting messages, what and what, me, I've been provoking them. I'll do this deliberately. Who catch you? I'm just being honest with you. But because we are creating one sympathy, and I'm appealing to my leaders now in UPN and everywhere, let's watch the man closely. But let's go to the people ourselves. Let's engage our people. People are listening when you talk to them. They are able to give you advice. The language you have taken, all of us, Liswaniso says, Chairperson, Chokudia. That's the language I've taken. All these things have given us free education, tiona mankwala aliko apa vonse basenza chokudi. It's a message has come to us. So let's work on this one, which everybody now is talking about. The issue of load shedding also, other than reasoning because of the drought, other than using political at the end of the day, all of us were involved. All of us. Maraiti akaenda. Na kwa Liswaniso aenda nchimosmos. There's nothing to say ever. No, we are all the same, all of us. But government, Yano, they're trying by all means to invest in the solar, all of us with this energy. That.
Let me take phone now on 0955-221515. You can send us your messages as well on 0761-912493. I've got a couple of messages that have come in through, and of course, I'll take phone calls for now. Good morning, and please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and be brief.
Morning, Zach. You're talking to Mishek Chukwila here from within Lusaka.
Mishek Chukwila from within Lusaka, please go ahead.
Mosquito.
Morning. How am I doing?
Kanawa kuchi.
Tulikanawa.
Mane. The things also, if they say media is a fourth state, me personally, I don't agree. Because at times media also, you portray a picture as if you are in part of opposition. I'll say this. Let me start by asking you as a media. What was the GGP previous regime and now? You see? Because at times, a good number of media, almost 80%, you portray as if the economy is going down. How do you measure the economy is going down? Is it by tomato dula or the economy kugwa fancy or branch? How do you give the economy to the farmer who is growing that tomato? Is it benefiting or not? Because tomato economy if with you as media, it's economy for me, it's totally wrong. And then the other thing is this. If you say that the democratic space is shrinking this country, from the time UPND got power, you have had almost 50 by-elections, right? Mr. Liswaniso,
yes, go on. Yes, go on.
Almost 50, right?
Mm-hmm.
In these all 50 by-elections, are you saying that people have been forbidden or not allowed to have rallies? You see, this is our country that we have. Let's go expect. And let's stop hiding things in terms of Malung. You also meet as a fourth state need to help us to make sure that this country is in the right hands. And whoever is doing a wrong thing, let's call him that what you are doing is wrong, here you are wrong. You can't be moving around in town there as if you are just a common man, as if you are a kapova. What if anything bad happens to him? The blame will come to who? And then 80% of the media they'll be there. No, he's got the right to move. He's also Zambian. It's not just a Zambian like you and me. That man, he has some restrictions. There are some places that he could go and places that he can't go to. If anything bad happens to Mr. Lungu, people will say, if I UPND vampire, I rest my case. Thanks.
Thank you for calling, Mishek. Let me see if I can get some more calls on 0955-221515. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you very much. Your name and where you're calling us from, and be brief.
You are talking to Comrade Chilonda within Lusaka.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Chilonda from within Lusaka, please go ahead.
Good morning, Liswaniso.
Brother Morgan, Tauka Kulibwanji Soweto.
Tauka Kulibwino. The first issue what I want just to comment because we have heard the former president complaining, saying kulivantu bafuna kuzunguluka nyumba yanga and bafuna kunimanga in collection to call for early election, and that's the fact of what we have heard So for me, I think for me to comment on this matter quickly, in Zambia there was a constitution where we select a former president, and the former president got the office of the former president to enjoy his benefit and make sure that he respected. When he called to other countries for maintaining peace, would have gone and maintained peace. Now the president, the former president, has come into political arena to say that way of politics.
Brother Morgan, your line is getting worse. It's getting bad. Please be brief. Let's see if we can get what you're saying.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah, no. Your line is bad. Please try and call us back. We'll not hear anything that you are saying. Let's see if we can pick up another call on 0955-221515. And remember, I've got a couple of messages here. Let me see if I can give you this one. Morning, Zach and my chair. You are the only person who has blamed both the opposition and the ruling party on both good and bad things. From both aspects. In this vein, I do commend you for being positive always, my chair, from Swale Vinja. Thank you very much, Vinja, for that. Let me see if I can give you some more. Morning, Mr. Zach and the National Youth Chairman. PF na bamemba babo baleke bakateka babombe. Not if tulemona nokumfwa ba PF member baletuka bakainde hichilema pama radio ye ya muchingola twapapata nga chachilamo ba UPND member epo tabala fulua baleke. All right, and this is from Don Busy in Chingola. Thank you very much, Don Busy, for that. This one here, let me pick a phone call as well. Good morning.
Zach, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you very much, Elvis. How are you?
Yeah, I've got a flu, Zach. I got a flu maybe from Mansa.
Get well soon. Get well soon. Get well soon, Elvis. Yes, go ahead, be brief.
My chairman, how are you there?
Mzanga, mwiche bwino.
Kifine na chifuwa tinachitenga kwa bene kukumansa.
Kumunda kwatu kwa mene.
Kumunda na mitumira mapicture. You know, Mr. Gilbert.
Yes, sir.
It's good to listen from you. Sometimes I try to become political. Sometimes I try to become a person who is becoming responsible. I was at the farm, although we didn't do very well because of the late delivery of fertilizer, and I'm doing some tomatoes again. So the yield is good, and we are going to reap. The issue of tomatoes, I've been trying to get in contact with you. Manje mukaenda pamwamba ba Gilbert, muri pamwamba.
Elvis, that's a conversation. That's a conversation. No, I would like to keep that conversation between the two of you. I want you to comment on national issues for now. The two of you can have a discussion after. Please comment on the national issues.
This is why I'm telling him to pick my cause. This is why I'm telling him
to pick my cause. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So what I can say, Zach, to tell you the truth, things are bad on the ground. I'm coming to politics now. I was in Mansa for 2 weeks. I came on Saturday. I gallivanted from Mansa, going to Mwanachama, Wamwewa. I went to Kawambwa. Things are not good on the ground. My leader there. People are suffering. People are harvesting right now. Some of them have already sold the maize, which is fresh, to the Congolese. The roads are bad. Look at the road from Serenge coming to Zambia. Just at the bridge there. The road is pathetic. The infrastructure is nowhere to be seen in Mansa. Zach, in Mansa, we have got a lot of minerals. And those minerals, if you go, you see the influx of the Indians there in Mansa. The Chinese. The population is growing because of the manganese and the sugilite which is there. That when you see the poverty levels of the people there, you shudder and cry. Recently, I got even some pictures from a certain family in Mwanachama, which has been suffering a lot. These people cannot be even given the CDF, which is talked about. But we see people with pregnancies, Zaki, people with babies being given money, leaving those who are vulnerable, those vulnerable people. The price of the cost of transport, Zaki, in 2 years, from here to Mansa, it was 200. Now it is 500, Zaki. Who is going to afford to be traveling like us from here at a cost of 500, going 500 coming 1 pin, Zaki? If you look here in Lusaka, the CDF, Zaki, I've already said it, Zaki. I've been trying to get a grant. I need a pump for my farm. It's 22,000. I cannot afford that. I'm doing what President President HH has told us. Go back to the land and till the land. I've sent some pictures to you, Gilbert, at my farm. I need a pump, but there are no resources. How am I going to produce? There's no electricity there. I cannot afford a solar pump myself, Zaki.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Elvis. I asked you to be brief, and unfortunately, I need to take as many calls as possible. Unfortunately, I have to leave it here, Elvis. Unfortunately, I have to take some more other calls. I've got a text message here. It says, "Good morning, Zach and Liswaniso. My question is that for how long will UPND and PF continue taking the nation to war all the time? Let him tell us how much time will it take for UPND government to develop according to their promises, because citizens are now tired." This is General S from Choma. All right. So maybe let me give you an opportunity to respond.
I think let me start with the two,
right?
Elvis and the last one.
Yes.
First of all, if you have seen from the beginning, we don't want to fight with the so-called Edgar Chagwalonga and his team. I think we have maintained, we have said so. We don't want that. And even our approach, you have heard people come and know, the focus is about what Elvis was talking about. It's about developing our country. It's to look up at the poverty itself. It's how can we create employment, the young people. How do we empower our young people in terms of skills and entrepreneur? These are the things we need to focus collectively, all of us. And this is a message. I don't think what my friend has raised here, Elvis, it is wrong to raise such kind of, why should we use vulgar language? He is raising those issues, which personal as an individual also is affected, cannot access CDF as an individual. He wants to have a pump, which has been our message now. Because of the drought, through CDF, also enda kugula chilimba, or kwenda ugula dress tuoneke bwino. But tenga jandrama, at least uguleko pampu, uyende utilile. I think this is the message which I want to agree with my colleague there. And this is a message from the president himself and the ministers, all of them have said, we need to empower our people now in terms of farming input na mapampu na solar minimum pamoja. And it's exactly the process talking about. And that's the money you can get from the grant or a loan. And then and this government is clearly that money is there. Now, he has mentioned something again to Elvis. And I mentioned here that it's not really about now, it's those who are implementing our colleagues at that level. So Elvis, you are needed. You identify such a person now. We come together. We have the means of, we have an MP in Mansa. Have we gone to him? But if I go to Mansa, and that's what I want to do, because I want to go to Mansa to see how CDF has worked. And that's what I'll do. We are doing these things to see. I don't want to point a finger to an MP who has done his job. I don't care where he belongs, either he's PF or what. The issue is to see, is his people getting something out of this? And then we'll know who is a problem in this area. Is it a member of parliament? Is it a secretary, council secretary? Is it a councilman? Is it a councillor? Is it a WDC? Or is it the people themselves? So that's why Zach was telling a party, UPND, has to be on top of everything now. Let's not leave the projects of the president in the hands of few individuals, then the party is isolated there, who will be damaged at the end of the day. That's why, friend, even few individuals that are joining this backbone of only complaining, there's a reason, because we are not engaging as a party. I need to admit on this one. So I'm appealing to my party leaders at every level. Let's be in charge of these things, but with not malice, but by doing a right thing for the community and for the people, and also helping President Hakainde Hichilema. We need to help him. He has done a lot, but we have been letting him down ourselves as leaders in this, because, Zach, we are volunteers. This position we have in a political party, we are volunteers, all of us. But because we have allowed ourselves to lead the people, our choice is to answer to the people at a difficult time. We have no choice. It's to answer them. It's to give them guidance. It's to give them where we are going. So, yes, I've agreed here that there is hunger, yes. Unalima, wanakupasa fertilizer with Elvis. Unanilangiza ati nalima, you told me, unanilangiza ati ona munda wanga. You responded very well. Can you take that blame to Hakainde Hichilema? Because you are a caller, you're a community caller. Unalima responded very well from the core. All of us, we agreed. And all of us were happy with you. Wachoka unemunusaka wende walimu, wanangiza na munda wako ukulu, walima. Ukafetraliza na pesa, vachitika. Then, drought ya bwela. Can you blame? That's from there. Because you are ulima. So I can take this advantage to you who have experienced that. Can you take that blame to Hakainde Hichilema? When you responded very well, Tangena Mulos. Now it is, how do you access a pump? So me, I'm assuring you, kwa mene kuja kumunali, kwa mene kuja. Kuli wa mene uja MP1, he has to see that a pump is there for you. Apply. What I want from you, apply. Because the issue of CDF between you and Mnali MP, it has been talked. Maybe ukatenga. Maybe uzapeleka mbili yabo nani natengako. Zach, I want to tell you what has been happening. Even Magrant na Maroni, people will ask for meeting. Wanatenga Maroni ni wandani. People keep quiet. They don't want. Wanatenga Magrant, they'll keep quiet. And then, because the council chairman knows certain people in the community, munuza sematenga matoni ngani, munuza vazo, you just hear them, oh, tinatenga. People don't want to tell others natenga. That's what I'm saying. The party now, get involved. Be there. When the committee are getting, have a list of the people. Have it. So when they have meetings, because at the end of the day, some people can continue getting the same monies. Some people. Then others are not getting. Batenga kwa hapa, next year tenga. He challenge Siri Chebeka Pena, by UPND. Even other these members of parliament in other political parties, they will tell it's a challenge which they are facing from their people. So, but Elvis, we are going to work together on that one. So that CDF mtebanyi mutenge. So that mwende mugule pampu emene mfuna meneo. So that tomorrow, and I'm encouraging people through CDF, let's apply more. Titenge chani mapampu.
Let me get some more. Let me read you this message. Good morning, Zach, and I think it's important that you address it. Good morning, Zach and the panel. I would like to find out. I would like to find out from the panel how prepared is government in as far as distribution of agriculture inputs this year to small-scale farmers who are under FISIP. The Ministry of Agriculture is quiet. I think as farmers this year, we are supposed to get the agricultural inputs early enough, especially that the country recorded production in the last farming season due to drought. Early distribution is the only sure way of making farmers plant early so as to have good crop production. What is your explanation regarding the concerns raised? This is Nicholas from Kabwe. Now, I've got another message here on Facebook. This one is from Kelvin Mafuta. So Kelvin Mafuta says, good morning, Mr. Zach and the guest. First of all, let me thank your platform, The Burning Issue. I was calling on Honorable Garin Kombo on your station. I am sure because of that, because of you, he responded and he was here yesterday. UPND, they need they should do what they have promised us. They are many things they actually promised. Among those things, 100 of them. Among those things, 100 of them, they have done only maybe 3. Right? We are still waiting for 97 of the promises. Please, I know they can't do all 97, but please just do 20 of them. Then people will be happy with you. All right. So this is a text from Kelvin Mafuta, right? And of course, let me take a few more calls. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Well, we'll take another one on 0955-221515. If you are calling us, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and be brief. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Mr. Chanda calling you from Tendele.
From Mr. Chanda from Tendele. Please be brief. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. And good morning, Mr. Liswaniso.
Good morning, Mr. Chan.
Thank you. Mr. Liswaniso, please demonstrate leadership. We have youth in Northwestern Province who were publicly insulting their father, the former head of state. The police is quiet, your party is quiet, and everyone is quiet. And when you talk about the rule of law, it is not the responsibility of the president to confer rights and freedoms on the Zambian people. It is the responsibility of the president to uphold the constitution, which confers these rights and freedoms on the Zambian people. The question that you must ask yourself is the president doing his job in upholding the constitution? And is the president doing his job in upholding the constitution in as far as providing dignity to the Zambian people by bettering their lives? Today, almost every price of essential commodities tripled. Talk of meal, talk of sugar, talk of cooking oil, talk of fuel, talk of electricity. Mines on the Copper Belt and Northwestern Province are paying electricity on a subsidized price, Mr. Liswaniso. These are the things that you should talk about when you appear on radio. Please demonstrate leadership. The Zambian people are expectant from the UPND government. Fixing what you promised is what is required, not lamentations. The role of government is to distribute national resources equitably. Though the people of Zambia need to receive national resources, that's the role of government. The role of government will provide solutions, not to lament, year in lamenting, year out lamenting. Each year that comes, you're lamenting. How? The role of us as citizens is not to praise you, even for things that you have not done. Ours is to praise you because you have done something right. And that should translate in our lives. It should better our lives, Mr. Liswaniso. So the songs you are singing, it's more like amen. What the UPND government has done ever since we voted for them is not something that people can even go on radio and sing about. We needed a radical transformation of our country. How can you give tax holidays on the mine? Your own people are suffering. They are buying petrol at 35, 36 kwacha. Diesel at 30 kwacha. How? Where? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bachanda, for that. I've got quite a similar message to that of Bachanda. Hi, Zach and Bachea Liswaniso. I like the way you talk, Mr. Liswaniso, although you are in the ruling party. But I beg you, Mr. Liswaniso, to talk to the president. Listen to the cries of the people. The cost of living has skyrocketed. Prices of goods and commodities have tripled, and the majority citizens are wallowing in abject poverty. Buying meal at 350 to 400 kwacha is hell to a person who earns about 1,200 kwacha. From it, you pay rent and other services. Fuel monthly review policy is not favoring us. Advise the government to review this because it's not benefiting citizens. This is Jackson Mutambo from Chilanga here in Lusaka. Would you like to respond?
In Zambia,
Quickly. Nabachanda.
I think Nawachanda with the other one to do with the import.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think the issue to do with rather than import, it's something which is all of us we know. There's nothing to question or start asking or delaying. All of us we know that we had a situation which is very big to our nation. And I want to tell you that this government is committed to ensure that early inputs are given to every farmer this year. That's the answer. I will tell you that because all of us, including yourself, you are concerned. All of us we are concerned, and the government is committed to do so. And I can tell you that you are going to have even more. The government is aware of this. This is a matter which we are addressing this year, is to ensure that we have a bumper harvest year, next year, as long as we got a good rains. But also, I'll go back as like obvious we have mentioned that we need to invest in Mapampu ya Manzi. I think everybody is doing it now, but we want to tell our fellow youths in the rural part, even in Lusaka, that can we have these pumps given to our people? Let's get on using that CDF. Wachanda, you are telling me about the Syrian government or through CDF by giving the community this money, which your government, Mr. Chanda, fails to do. You know that. You're part of it. Chanda, you failed yourself. There used to be 1.6 million, which never in certain, maybe 156 constituencies, maybe only 50 or 30 will receive a constituency fund in a year. Maybe sometimes only maybe two. But this government, what has done, he has given back to his citizens, back to the communities. And we are aware that that's taxpayers' money. Because Mzimaya akagula saradi, akagula parafini, akagula chani, that's their money. President Kahinde has given that money back to the community, which you yourself and your president, Edgar, you failed to do that, Wachand. You know that. When you talk about the constitutional right of every individual, everybody is speaking, including even Mr. Edgar Jagwalungu. You are nonsense, provoking. But have you seen us come to your head? No, we have no time for that. The time we have is what you have said, is to ensure that we fix the economy of this country, collectively, all of us. So when you are saying no one has infringed his rights, and he has been doing so, he has done so, which your President Edgar, including yourself, failed to do. You know how you hammered us left and right. Wachanda, you know that. Your behavior between you and your friend, Mr. Edgar, you know how you treated us, how you treated the people here. Even here at radio station, you know what you are using to do. If you're still doing that, when we hear such a things, we stop it, and those are being arrested. And that's what we are doing. It's because we want you people to speak. And speak. Let me tell you one thing, maybe you don't know. We don't expect praising from the people of Zambia. No. They will never do that. They'll only do it the day of voting, when they'll give us power again in 2026. The people of Zambia have a right to speak their mind the way they want it. And they've been speaking, which you yourself failed to do so. Every section we're beating people, we're discussing about Edgar Chagwalungu. We know that. No one was talking. But today, every section is speaking their minds. And we are moving together with them. And we are happy when citizens are putting government of Hakainde Hichilema threatening. We are happy because now he's responding. Because if you don't speak, he may think everything is okay. But every day, things are coming on his table. People are saying this, people are saying this, people are saying this, people are saying this. Every message is on the table of Hakainde Hichilema, which is good for a citizen. And that's how you develop your country. And the young people, if they're criticizing Edgar Chagwalungu, I haven't seen those videos. That's what I tell you, because I was in the bush. I have come. And when I have come, and I've said, please, Zach, here in my beginning to say, you should understand that the UPND members, youth, they've got a bond to chew with Edgar Chagwalungu. I just want to be honest with you. In a way, could be saying, I've not, because mulivi maskama tupia bafana kama ka Edgar Chagwalungu. So bakamuona kabwela mu mind kaja. But it is the same president Hakainde Hichilema who is stopping the young people. Stop this. I don't want this. It is me speaking on the radio station who say, don't go in that road. It is not easy. Don't be cheated. Zach, it is not easy. I've seen it. I've got difficult to deal with the young people. I don't want to cheat you. If you think it is easy to control the young people of UPND, It's not an easy thing. Seeing it. They're seeing an enemy is passing his door. Who chased that person in a market to go and stay, could not sell. That person is passing through and is telling this one, don't pass here. When you chase this person, how do you deal with such a person? But that's why, Zach, maybe you want to see the other side of Liswaniso again. I leave it loose. That what kind of country are we going to have? Because we can disobey. We can do that. That's what we want, Zach. So when they outside, President Hakainde Hichilema is trying to ensure that there should be peace in this country. He's trying his best. You are provoking him or doing this thing, but he has supporters at the end of the day. How many barracks do we have? Do you see people going to jail and everything? How people are going to do? But you, every by-election, when so want to master, but we are trying to live as one, all of us. But we are not stopping you to criticize us. But don't insult at the end of the day. And that's what I've just appealed to people. Let's not insult, but criticize this government like anybody else is criticizing. And I'll give an example. I've seen Elvis. He has been criticizing this government. Have you seen us well? No, Elvis, no. Have we forced Elvis, man, Ebola joining UPND? The answer is no. We want another voice. So is it difficult for you to do the same? Bring out issues. Listen. But I will tell you that President Hakainde Hichilema is on the right track. We're in a difficult situation. We have admitted, all of us. And this situation we have today is that it's not about Hakainde Hichilema. But we have no choice because we are the one in the driving seat. But give us time. And I'm appealing to the people of Zambia. If we have failed, 2026 is coming. You have a right to vote us out. Than causing confusion, bring anarchy in the country. But I just want to say, Zach, that it is not easy. How we are moving, I've told you already in a row party, how we are moving, collective, all of us. That's why I keep on appealing to the party leader to say, let's be in charge that what we have done so far is an equalizer for the next general election which is coming.
Ken Kapalu on Facebook says, Mr. Liswaniso, your councillor for Kanyama is a problem. He has told his cadres to bring buses to Njashishi Road at City Market. All traders here are finding it difficult to do business because he collects money from the buses. And he says he doesn't care whether people will vote for him because he will stand in his village in 2026. They will vote for him that side. So find time to come and see what's happening and know what to do. This man is a problem.
I'll answer in this way. Your message, I'll never use malice, and I'll go there and check. But I don't think a councillor can tell you that since I mila kunzainda kwaso, that is malice. That's the answer I'll give you. Just raise the issues which you are seeing, which is happening. Once you bring to say anakamba so, aponza kukanira. Kulipe musogole mina ngakambe vaso. Because even when you kwenda kuimirira, bazamukumbuza bana anachita kusoka kwaso. So I can't tell you that. The issue, raise the issues. Traders are not doing fine there communally. We engage the councillor.
I don't care if you don't vote for me.
No.
You don't want to believe the listener?
No. For me, that kind of a language, it is a malice. Just raise issues which has happened in the area, talk about it, and then we deal with it squarely, collective with you there. But when you want to bring now personal issues, you want to bring it in the part, I'll say no to it again. That's the way I do things myself. For me, let's deal with the matter, what you have raised. I'll go there and check what is happening. I don't know if we are at City Market, so I'll go and check. We'll ask Buster, I'll ask also the marketing manager there, how about this area, what is happening? We'll ask the councillor himself, and he will explain to us. For me, I know what is happening on the ground. Certain issues are personal issues. I've said I've got a lot of people injured me. I'm seeing them in government. If I wanted to be personal, I can go personal with them. But let's do what everybody is expecting us to do to them. Let's do the work. And I've said, the president, what he has done, and what I've seen so far in many constituencies, Zach, he has done the right thing. All we need as UPND, it is on the ground, ensuring that we emphasize, appreciating what the president has done, and to move together with the people. Zach, I keep on saying, using the example, Nyereti kuli imwe naine ilibe nchito, but kumunza kuzani kuli tinankhala almost 10 years kweze be Nyereti kono, at least about doing a Nyereti. To you and me, it's nothing, but to a villager now, it's changing a life of somebody. Alkan Napola. These are the things which we are seeing at the raw part. So it's just to emphasize to set our people who have given this mandate to implement the vision and the policy of the president. They are doing so on the behalf of the UPND.
Your concluding remarks.
I'm concluding by saying this, Doug, and to my fellow young people across the country, that let's hold on. Let's push together. Let's support Ndakainde Chilema. It's not an easy year. It's a difficult year. But to overcome this, I want to emphasize that we overcome this because your president, Ndakainde Chilema, is committed. He's aware. He understands, not only to the youth, the women, all citizens across the country. All he needs from you is your support. All he needs you is your advice. He's not stopping you, not complain or to talk or to raise issues affecting. Speak about them. But the main challenge, which is the talk of the day, the issue of high cost of living, is tackling this matter. But this matter is an economic matter. It's not an event. It's a process. That's why he's asking you, give him time. He's not stopping the opposition to raise these issues. Raise them. Speak about it. So he can fasten all these issues. Talk about it. But let's use with the malice to destroy the country. He church leaders, asking church leaders also, pray for us. Pray for Ndakainde Chilema. But also raise these issues as your members come to your church. Also help him identify people who are vulnerable within the church so they can access this food which is coming. If a church has to work for food for work, let it be. Let's get involved, all of us. But he's asking you, church leaders, let's be together. The organization also, speak your mind, speak. He's listening, but letting confusion in a country because there is this issue which is at hand. So I want to say this to the listeners and also to the callers. I want to say thank you very much to you. Continue calling, continue participating. To you, Zach, we come here, we interact with the people, we get their views, we go. What we can do, we'll do. What we cannot do, we'll come and respond to them again. Generally, to the country, we say, Mulungu akudaliseni, Mulungu adalise president watu Ndakainde Chilema na ministers wake, adalise ma church leaders wonse, ba civil society organization, ma political parties ma leaders wonse akudaliseni. Naise tonse ma Zambians, Mulungu ankale pakati paise, pamenti pita mavuto aminaya, ziko mkwambili.
Thank you very much, Liswaniso, for coming. That is Gilbert Liswaniso, the United Party for National Development, UPND National Youth Chairperson. And I also say thank you so much to our partner radio stations, Tuta FM, Mchinga Radio, iWave FM Radio, Spice FM, and Wave FM for carrying this program live. We will certainly be back next week for the Tuesday and Thursday editions of The Burning Issue. From us all is take care of yourselves and more so of each other. Bye-bye.
Tune in next week for another edition of The Burning Issue, and thank you for your participation.